Hello everyone. Hello everyone.
Thank you, lovely students. Thank you. And Sridhar, over to you. Welcome one and all on this beautiful morning. Let's thank Varun and Varun Kakinada, Ramdev for keeping this morning rain free. I'm so excited to meet all of my friends and you in particular. The future depends on what we do today. The truth is told before, none other than our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. I'm sure all of you are thinking about the future, what to do next. This event is exactly focused on that, connecting campus to career. So I'm Lakshmi Kiran, the moderator for the day. Before we start for the event, I want to invite Principal Jntucek Kakinada onto the dais and speak.
94, 98 alumni. Right? Exactly. During 1994, I have come to Hyderabad. Later, I finished second year Ministry of Economic University for Fellowship Program from University of Pune. Afterward, University for Fellowship Program from University of Pune. And onwards, I am in the domain of computer science and engineering. I joined in 2003 in this great college. It has given this college almost 20 years. I was class cricket coordinator since 2013. More than 20 days, answered in each and every equipment of the college, of the department. Since 2019, I worked as the vice principal for 3 years till December 2021. That is my brief. And you know, you people are very good. College never forget the support of alumni. They are doing a lot. Auditorium itself contributed by the 7983 alumni auditorium. Whatever event we are going to conduct in the college, this auditorium is playing crucial role. With the support of state government and our honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. B.R. Prasad Rajgaru, they are coming up, Rajgaru. They are coming up with big conversation hall, 1500 seating capacity. I think you have studied under his, he is also your teacher, he was also your teacher. Dr. B.R. Prasad Rajgaru, Department of Civil Engineering. Right? Is there any alumni from civil engineering? Yes. Right, right. Thank you. Once again, my sincere thanks to the alumni for visiting the college and conducting this event. Sir, why you selected 94, 98 batch in 25 years of celebration? It will super duty. Super duty. Yes. Great. I hope you need to conduct platinum duty also. Okay? It will super duty. Super duty. Yes. Great. I hope you need to conduct platinum duty also. Okay? Not only silver duty, don't stop with it. And at the same time, I sincerely request you one and all, please help the college, whatever the way is possible to you. Think we will conduct several events aiming to enhance the skill sets of students. One thing I feel very happy, our college is playing crucial role in several ways. One is for every senior college is developing the sports sector and club, aiming to provide the best rated and the required students so that they can get bright future. That's the first goal. That's the first goal. Second one, in the state government, Jntucek is flying like anything because our university, our colleagues conducted Jntucek several times.
good morning to this August gathering, and I'm bringing to this open head for I'm heading the placement, which is also called as the Department of Career Guidance and Placement. So I'm heading the placement in last 5 months. We have many plans. We have started few events, and I'm here to share few thoughts about our students and college where we can extend your support for the career of our students who are on roll as of now. So as you know, the University College of Engineering has been the front runner. I mean, half of state of Andhra Pradesh, the civil servants are from our college, and most of them are from mechanical engineering. Yeah, I mean, like, because when I was hosting this platinum jubilee, so many people are the civil servants with different positions, and most of them are from mechanical engineering and ECE. So even last year, from computer science, we have H.L. Kumar Reddy, who is a joint collector from the for Rajahmundry. Now he is joint collector. He is alumni from computer science. So he was putting his Jntucek in principle. So we have, I mean, like, we have to list out the many alumni where this college has produced, and we the faculty are really proud to be and associate with such a proud college. And thank you for, I have to mention last year, he has interacted with me last week, and he wants to try to include this and also to volunteers. And I should thank him for being with us and giving me this opportunity to share. So here, this day, I mean, I'm here tell you few things about the college and the procedures that we have established after I have taken charge. So in the state of Andhra Pradesh, the best 3 students of state of Andhra Pradesh will first join in this college. So because this is the only technical university in the state of Andhra Pradesh who got the NAC A+ grade, and the best students of Andhra Pradesh are here. So you can see the computer science students with 200 MCET rank will join with us. The last rank is 2,500. I mean, like, aware, like, lakhs of students will join, and only 10% of the students that will choose our university as to join. So our intention being a faculty or the placement training and placement officer, the aim of our CGPC, Career Guidance and Placement Service, is to create a good opportunity to our students. So our students are best, meritorious and keen students, but giving them an opportunity or getting them an opportunity to prove their skill set is very important. So we are just trying to push our efforts, and I'm here to request all the alumni who are in a great position in the vice president, and we have many leading positions. You are in the decision making of many companies. So I'm here to request you all to just give an opportunity from one of the places when they go out. But that is not our aim right now. What we are aiming is our students to be given a good placement. I need to say good with a good package. Now the student average package is around 20%. So if you can see, the companies which we are aiming is like product-based companies like Amazon, Walmart, or Qualcomm, I'm sure that they will do their job. So you may ask me, what is that effort that you're putting? So for improving the skill set of the students. So I have taken charge in the month of January, and we started with a program called Super 30. We have selected, I mean, if you are aware, only on roll per year the students that pass out from this college is max. We have selected, I mean, if you are aware, only on roll per year the students that pass out from this college is max for 420. So 420 students from all the 7 branches will pass from this college. So what we have done is, taken an assessment from the students, and we have selected top 40 students from all the subjects, where 36 students are from computer science have been selected. This is all the previous registration we have conducted, and we have selected top 40 students, and we have trained them exclusively for 120 hours, which means almost 60 weeks we have trained them on competitive coding on
Very proud to say, and they have released this list who are topping that 480 batch, and in that 11 students are from our. So I'm really proud of this because we are putting our best efforts to improve our skills. I'm not at all mentioning about the service-based company. Every student with 4 lakhs of minimum package will definitely go out of this course. There is no doubt about it. And only my aim is to give higher opportunities, like higher packages to our students, and we are expecting companies like what I was mentioning, SAP and other companies. So we request your support in helping us to give a reference to our students to prove their skills. And also, in addition, I also request you to take some time for our students and give them your testimonies and highlight how to be a successful entrepreneur or a career, whatever you are being excelled. That will definitely be helpful. And I really thank and I'm wishing that any academic connect last year, I mean, in the last week also we had an academic connect last year, I mean, we pass on this and help our students to get an opportunity to prove their skills. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and Rajasthan is having my number and the details. Please, you can also text me at any time. So I'll be very happy if some few of you can extend your support to our students who are in the present time. Thank you so much. So yeah, shall we get started? So before we start, may I all keep the mobile phone protocol? This is my trigger.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to thank you very much. May I please request the panel members to come onto the dais? Okay, now the secretary is holding the hand. Can you please take the first seat? Yeah, next is Shalom. Can you please come here?
Thank you, Shanmukh. Anjani, could you please come on to the dais? Thank you, Anjani. Ram Gopal Kota, please. Puri. Rama Chaganti, can you please come on to the dais? Dr. Radharani. Chalapati is not here with us today. He is delayed. So in his place, I would like to request Mr. Chakrapani to come on to the dais. Yeah, and Ram Babu and Chalapati are together. So unfortunately, we don't have him either, but it is okay. We have Padmaja. Could you please come on to the dais? Then we have Kalyan. So then with a big round of applause for Ramakrishna, you would know soon why. And then our giant, Kishore, could you please come on to the dais as well, please? Thank you. And we don't have the name on the list, but Vinila, could you please come on to the dais? Thank you, all the panelists, for being with us, and thank you for offering your help.
So Sridhar, how do you want to go about the event?
I'm glad to be here, and before I start this event, I want to tell you a small story. The story has two main characters. One of them is Chalapati Rao, and the other one is obviously I. Both of us were roommates when we were studying together. In 1995, in the second year, we came to know about one blind, retired, old teacher in Pithapuram who would read the palms of people and predict their future. We were kind of excited, and we wanted to see what does he have to tell about us. So we took a bus from here to Pithapuram, and we looked for Mr. Ramakrishna Pantulu. That is why our Ramakrishna is important here. And so when we got down at Pithapuram, we did not know. We went straight to his house. It was very easy. And we explained him, or we greeted him and said, Pantulu garu, మేము ఇలా వచ్చాం, కాకినాడలో చదువుతున్నాం. So he obliged. And since he was blind, asked for our palms, fiddled with our palms for a few minutes, tapped them gently, and then said, ఏం అడగదలుచుకున్నారో అడగండి. We did not know what to ask for. So Chalapati asked one question, and I asked two questions. The question that Chalapati asked was, నేను గెజిటెడ్ ఆఫీసర్ అవుతానా అవ్వనా? What did it mean? And Chalapati, he said, నువ్వు గెజిటెడ్ ఆఫీసర్ అవుతావు, కానీ కొంచెం కష్టపడతావు. So fast forward 28 years from there, because it was 95, here we are. I settled immediately after the education. I am living in Netherlands with my family. So all my wishes have come true. Chalapati did struggle a bit. He didn't find a job immediately after BTech. He did his master's, and then he also got into APSCB as a gazetted officer. But again, what I want to say here is that how naive we had been in the way we were thinking about our future. We were thinking about tomorrow. We were not thinking about our future. And that is where the context of this whole event comes into picture. This event is to help you think about your future, not about tomorrow. Therefore, we have the list of panelists here, though we do not have our esteemed or noble Ramakrishna Pantulu garu. We have two Ramakrishnas here. One is sitting over here, and the other one is over there, and who could possibly help you with all the wisdom that is necessary for succeeding in your lives. Sure. Again, so once again, coming back to the context, the purpose of today's event is to have interactive discussion with the students, all of you, to help and clarify you on the questions you have on further education. That is what we understood. Specialization and opportunities in the respective fields of study, guidance on competitive exams in India or abroad in your respective fields, and the preparation that is required, emigration in case someone is interested to go abroad and study, or even we could help you, planning career path, what to do once you get into a job, casual discussion with the expert panel. Please note that it is completely casual. Feel free. Mind. Before I forget, I would like to request Mr. Vander Prasad also to join onto the panel, because there is a place left for him. So he has been our topper from our class, and he was the judge of the Elevate 11 as well. So therefore, it makes there are all good reasons why he should be here.
అందరూ ఆస్ట్రాలజర్ అడ్రస్ అడుగుతున్నారు.
అదే చెప్పాం కదా, అప్పటికే ఆయన రిటైర్డ్ పంతులు గారు, ఇప్పుడు ఇద్దరు రామకృష్ణ ఉన్నారు, ఆయన లేరు.
ఇద్దరు రామకృష్ణ ఉన్నారు కదా, రెప్లికేట్ చేసి ఉంచాం.
Thank you, everyone. So that's it, Kiran. So I think I have set the context. Could you please help us understand what this event is not about?
So what do you think? So deep diving into topics like AI, IoT and all that, the algorithms and all will not be discussed here. I don't think you'll be interested either right now. And probably the life lessons, our Google is there to know about life lessons of all the people, or many times you won't get it, but you can make use of these two Ramkrishnas. So before I start, okay, how many of you are from civil? So just to give an idea to the panelists, can you raise your hands, please? Students from civil? Oh, exam, okay, fine, yeah. How about computers? Students from electronics? And triple E? Chemical? Food technology, the other branch which opened up recently? Yeah. So this is just to give an idea of how many members of the. So yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Kiran. Now that we know who from the students is are in this auditorium, I would like to take few moments for the panel members to introduce themselves so that you know whom you are talking to and what kind of, how can they help you. So I request the panel members to tell their name, their designation in the respective organizations, and what kind of questions can they help us all with. Thank you.
Hello. Yes. Hey, hi everyone. This is Raj Kosuri. I'm Senior Vice President working in Tech Mahindra. Like many of you, back in '98, I got a campus opportunity. I joined Satyam those days. Yeah, 25 years fast forward, I'm back here. My area of expertise is into IT delivery. Okay.
Namaste everyone. My name is Jntucek and I am the alumni of 1994-98 from Electrical and Electronics. And after electrical engineering, after that I worked in few MNCs like Sanyo, Infineon and Edison Semiconductors. And for last 14 years I have been working in Broadcom as Central Engineering and R&D as a engineering director. My area of experience includes mainly the vast amount of memory design and VLSI design, even power management, and pretty much on the VLSI domain. If you have any specific questions, career guidance, I'll be able to answer. Thanks so much.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Anthony. I'm here at Shankar. I have done PhD from here. I co-98 man, John PLC, couple of career, and John General Electric. The area
from electronics in communication. Thank you. There are quite a few people, and I did from JNTU Hyderabad, and I am into microcoding. If you have any questions in microcoding or chip level bootloaders and all that stuff, I can help you out. I am incidentally or accidentally into power electronics too, so you can ask some questions in power electronics too.
Hi, good morning all. I'm Srinivasrao Chepudi, electrical and electronics engineering department. Yes,
I did that for a couple of years.
slightly non-traditional path. I went and did an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, and after that, I went on to do multiple things, but I worked across consulting, marketing, and then I worked with Amazon for the last 8+ years. But I've come a full circle where I've brought my technology engineering and business management to do product leadership roles. So if anyone has any questions on this kind of path, happy to. Hi, I'm Rama Chaganti. I'm from Tripoli. So I did my microelectronics and VLSI from Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. And after that, I stuck to my core, mostly methodology, so SoC chip design. So let's take VLSI side questions aimed towards product management or program management or the management ladder. I can definitely help. Thank you. Namaste, all of you. I'm after completing my undergraduation here from Tripoli department, then I went for MTech in Gujarat, Maharaja Sayajirao University. Later on, right now I'm working as a professor in Tripoli Department of RVR and JC College of Engineering. So I can guide you regarding your further studies or any research interest if you have. I can give you some inputs.
Hello, my name is Chakrapani. I am from the civil department. I have done my master's in.
Unlike many of my friends, I have decided to continue in my civil field. I have an experience of 20 years in designing, project management, and construction. Anyone want guidance, I can give.
Hello everyone, my name is Jntucek and the mechanical branch. So within a year of completing my BTech in 98, I have gotten into a research organization where I'm working for the last 24 years. It's a completely satisfying job. So anybody would like to have any guidance regarding on how to get into research departments in India, I can help you out with. Thank you. Hi everyone, this is Kalyan.
Basically, I'm a civil guy, but the journey is like very different. After civil, I did in satellite technology and communication, like that, and a couple of startups. Now I'm part of Keysight. Keysight is like Agilent. I work in automation and testing development. So any one of you want to transform from civil to high-end automation and robotics and IoT related stuff, I'm really glad to support you. Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, I would like to thank Sridhar for making me so popular, even before me introducing. Okay. So I am Ramakrishna. I graduated with a triple BTech degree from this college. And after that, again, to follow my passion in electronics, I have completed my master's problems, right? I never used to basically count my time, whatever. Basically, it can be night out, whatever it is, right? Because it's so much kick we get while solving the problem, right?
And then I was first because of my obstinate nature, I had to then change my field. Because of my obstinate nature, I had to then change my field to applied mathematics. So I actually tried to do PhD in organic molecular transistors, and the papers were so math heavy, and my department did not have the expertise, so I tried to get from math department. So I tried to do a lot of management actually at the faculty level, and so I found a professor. By the way, he's very popular, and he's no more, unfortunately. And he agreed to help me, but he put a condition that he has to be on my dissertation committee because math department doesn't get enough funding from the industry.
So the faculty performance evaluation is only on PhD students. So he had to have some way to use that effort for his performance evaluation. But for some reason, the computer science department did not agree. So I was optimist. I decided to pursue the applied math instead because I didn't want to do a PhD on something where I know there is a gap. So when I finished my PhD in applied math, it took 2-3 years extra. And then I realized I have a son who is 3 years old, and the professor or the faculty positions are very low salary in math. So I switched back to software development. So I got a job in a research company developing products for predicting the performance or capacity of servers. And then while doing that, I found they had developed a product based on a paper written by someone from IBM Watson Research Center and then a very famous professor from UT Austin, or University of Texas at Austin. His name is Chandy. And we had our numerical method book written by Professor Chandy, if you remember. Oh, sorry, the UT guy, sorry. So anyway, so that paper had a problem. And so the person who developed the product, he had left the company, and the algorithm actually worked for only very limited cases, and they were suffering a lot, So I started doing research, and eventually they gave me a research position in the company, the only one, myself. And I did some research there, and in the process also I found another problem in
another very famous person who was kind of leading in that area, capacity planning, performance engineering. And after 2-3 years, the company was going down because they could not cope up with the virtualization technology because all the measurements. Oh, sorry. So anyway, so I finished that, and then now I'm in Ericsson AI because of the class that I took. So I'm developing technology solution architectures using AI in the telecom sector. So if you have any questions, I can help.
Hi everyone, I am Kishore Jntucek. I did my BTech from civil here, and afterwards I took GATE and I did my MTech success from IIT Madras. And afterwards I worked in L&T and many construction companies. And finally now I took to the Department of Atomic Energy, Government of India. Now I am acting as a additional chief engineer for nuclear power plants construction. So I can help you people either at the core of civil construction or entry to the government of India in what way we can help it and what way we can guide you in this regard. Thank you.
Systems, and then got a chance to meet the chief Momo, ATL Momo, ATL Gallas, Momo, ATL Gallas, right, 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 and then continuing from 2Z, 3Z, from 2Z, 3Z, 4Z, now into 5Z. So anything related from 2Z, 3Z, 4Z, now into 5Z. So anything I can help. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasad, and thank you, everyone. One question, students, is there anyone who does not speak Telugu? Please raise your hands. Okay. That would make it easy for some of us. In case anyone wants to give an answer in Telugu, that's fine. Thank you very much. Yeah, right. Yeah, please feel free to ask the question in Telugu. Yes. Thank you.
So yeah, who want to go first to ask the question?
Yeah, if you could raise the question and if you can indicate the branch also, then I would request the panelists to raise the hands to indicate who will take the question. So that will make it easy for us to coordinate. Okay, since the new batch is not asking and the old batch asking a question. And it is Ramakrishna again. Okay. Okay, so this is again Ramakrishna from EC. Okay. Okay, yeah, so I was listening to Sriva speaking about not the, what do you call, the next immediate future or long-term future. Think about future, not tomorrow. Think about future, but not tomorrow. Okay, so that my question is related to that. Like future means, like, how much are you saying? Like, it's 20 years or 25 years? Okay, sure. No, I'm just asking you to use it. Okay. Okay, then I have a question for Kishore. Like, say that somebody has completed his BTech, how to get into these atomic centers or nuclear related government organizations? Yeah. First thing, before that, I want to just add, because maybe you will be in third year or other than itself, whether you want to go on core or other than core. Very clear. Okay. Then only you can go or other than core. This should be very clear. Okay. Only you can move forward. So be very clear of this is the first. This is the first thing. To your question, see, every year, no, based on the fully conducting air, which there will be because of atomic energy, right from civil, electrical, mechanical, and instrumentation. These are the four groups, two type system of interviews, which will be conducted by DRC, and afterwards it can get through. So this is a system. This is one is as a trainees. And second thing, there is a direct recruitment of GNC is having around some 9 locations, various units, various locations, the power plants are working. And there will be some direct recruitments also, which will be asking with experience. Okay. So that also you can take it, but as you are right now you are completing the details. So you can take that test. Even when you are doing your MTech or that way also you can take it. But that is the thing. It is very easy process, but only thing is you should have grip on your subject. Gate preparation and IES preparation will be sufficient to take this test. It will get into. Okay. I hope I have answered you. Right? There is a question mark on your face. That's why I got getting out. Is it okay? Students. I think I have answered for students, I think, because every year BRC will be conducting a test, but some years it may be 10 numbers. There will be vacancies. BARC,
Kishore, I think one other question students might want to know is where will these notifications be published and what is the time frame they should watch out for any newspapers or anywhere where will the notification for recruitment entrance exam. Kishore says these things will be published in the respective websites and then there will not be any specific period of like a year that this period only this happens. It's not like based on the vacancies and approvals from Government of India, so there will be periodically there will be publishing. Based on one more thing, coming to the research organizations, most important thing is patience, patience, patience. I think that is the most motivating. But yes, it pays off. Please be patient and not only be thorough with your subject, be lateral in thinking. So if you just maybe I say this if you are going to this institute, there will be aptitude also. The lateral thinking also is important because what you are studying at the core is only outside. All the remaining is what you are ready to learn in future. Because getting into research organization is a continuous learning process. Till the last day of your retirement, you will be learning.
Yeah, so let's do quite some hands will come to the quite some hands will come to the post graduation and other student, enter students to please ask some question that you enter students to please ask some question that you think is necessary for you. Quite some hands will come to the post graduation and other student, other countries soon. Enter students to please ask some question that you think is necessary for you to know.
Good morning, sir. Myself Dharmasudha. I am from Electronics and Commerce. Dharmasudha. I am from my MTech on VLSA design. I think internships play a major role in engineering students' life. So I want to ask a question that what the efforts the students need to keep, the electronic students need to keep to get a good internship in VLSA test design company.
Thank you for the question. So, your question is about getting into the MTech or getting into internship? Both. Okay. First, let me explain about the MTech. So, as you know, there is a graduate aptitude engineering, and then this VLSI stream is offered by most of the IITs, and you are from VC, right? So, you have to be really thorough about your electronic device circuits, IT networks. Be very thorough, and you know the date pattern, and pick those critical subjects where you can look at the blueprint where the majority of questions will come, and have passion. You just don't do it from the game point of view, like you be a passionate in doing the key textbooks, the reference textbooks, and study properly, and also before you do the revision properly, and then once you start crack the thing, once you get into the campus, there are like IIT Madras, IIT Mumbai, IIT Delhi, and even IISc offers very good VLSI courses. So that's the key. So you have to start studying from maybe third year, second semester itself. And as ma'am said, like it's like 3 P's method: patience, perseverance, and persistence. Until you reach the goal, do not stop. That's the thing. That's the first goal. Okay, regarding internship, I really want to go for a master's or MTech from then, very interns and for year and GRE for going for VLSI courses they're there. I think it's part of it. And there you qualify computer engineering. There is no distinction between electrical and electronics. It's all one branch for computer engineering.
Today there is many sub-branches, right? There are many sub-specializations. You don't have to stick to VLSI only. Within VLSI, it's a very vast area. There are
I think that's all I would like to say.
Thank you very much.
So I just want to add that several companies offer internships. Even if I take my own company like Texas Instruments, right? You offer internships in every domain, design, validation, testing, even layouts, everything. So I think one is I will definitely get in touch with the placement officer. Basically, placement officer has to reach to colleges, companies like Qualcomm, API, so that they can give the description of what the course curriculum, and then we will work with placement officer. But internship is like 4 types. One is summer intern in third year, which is like a 2 months duration. One is like in the final semester, 6 months duration. Where the students will get very good exposure on basically.
Thank you very much. The 3 things that they talked about reminds me of a joke that India can never get rid of. That India can never get rid of. Population, poverty, and Pakistan. Thank you. Okay, one announcement. This meeting is done. So please, there are some snacks outside, and you please do save some of.
So, my name is Nagav Kakia from the Building Department. Actually, first I want to. So, my name is Nagav Kakia from the Building Department. actually, first I want to choose CS. Next question, please. So, my name is Jntucek Kakinada from the department. He somehow convinced me to take department by saying, and I do realize that it grabbed my attention, and I developed so much interest in that field. And I don't know how it. I actually, I present I invest in both software IT side and at the same time code side. So it one can be really hardworking, but it is I find really hard to stay consistent to it. And one can become responsible after it becomes rugged. But I want to be more rugged when I was now present for like second year. I want to be more rugged. So I want to settle in abroad where my brother also studying. So how can where I end up? So absorb all the wisdom and knowledge you have, and how to cope up with this tricky code plans. Yeah, that's my question.
So let me raise your question. I will know whether you should choose two subjects or computers and how to go about it.
And my interest is both IT and code.
Okay, cool. Who wants to take this question? Okay, cool. Who wants to take this question? Okay, cool. Who wants to take this question?
Software solutions for grid management. So the grid that you use here, the electrical grid, to manage that, you need a software. So applying software solutions or using software, you will let any utilities manage the grid, be it national level or state level. So there is a mix, or there are opportunities in this domain where IT plus core is possible. And general electric is one company, there are many others, like Schneider, ABB, there are many companies, Siemens also. And with the smart grids coming into reality now, there is definitely a mix of both. So you can always get there, and opportunities wise common, because there are many tools here who have done regularly. Then there's just to VLSA, some of the raw systems. So you can always choose the career path based on your graduation also.
Anjali, how does it, how can you go about with what you have?
Yeah, companies like GE, we always get opportunity. These days, any analysis, you don't restrict you to just stay here only. You can get recruited here, but you always have opportunity to choose and then settle elsewhere. Like these days, the opportunities, everyone gives you same employment opportunities. So if there's an opening in Canada, US, Europe, everywhere, people can go and settle there also, as part of the same company. So it's not that you have to do a post-graduation here and then look for a job there, but you can join here, but we look to other places. That's why I would say one way of settling.
Thank you, Anjali. Does that answer your question, my friend? Okay, thank you very much. Next question, please. Nobody? मैं कलेक्टर बनूंगा तो सिर्फ मैं बनाऊंगा, मैं पढ़ाऊंगा तो 100 बनेंगे. Nobody? Okay. We'll come back to that. Thank you. Any further questions, please? Otherwise, we can take some liberty in asking the questions. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir, my name is Surya. I'm from Mechanical Engineering Department, second year. So, I want to pursue my master's from abroad. I'm in a dilemma of choosing the specialization exactly in future. But there are two fields exactly doing this. One is mechatronics and the other is biomedical engineering. Meaning, which is the best role for me to work in. Also, I have heard that biomedical engineering doesn't provide good career opportunities in terms of monetary benefit. I mean, if I want to be realistic, money is also a thing to be thought of, apart from my passion.
Okay, you are ECE or computer science? This guy.
Mechanical engineering.
Who wants to take this question?
Mr. Surya, right? Yeah, it's nice to hear that you want to develop prosthetics. Very good. So what you have chosen is a combination of materials, process, electromechanical.
In this field, so you will be better. I hope I can answer. In fact, I have a daughter who is into second year engineering now. We put her into an integration program, which is mechatronics with the biomedical engineering specialization. So that way what happens, at a mechatronics level, you get good foundation with the mechanical subjects, the electrical and electronic subjects, the computer programming, it's a mix of everything, right? So on top of it, you can do a specialization in biomedical engineering. I agree with the recommendation. Mechatronics is a much broader field. Job opportunities will be wide. If you have specific interest towards the biomedical, you probably want to do some electives on top of mechatronics and do some projects. That's where I would approach it.
Thank you. There is one source. Thank you.
That's because I was helping my son to find a path. So there is a new area that is emerging called synthetic biology. So if you are thinking about developing prosthetics, you can in fact, in future, it will be possible to use the DNA and then you develop the prosthetic organ in some sort of animal or even in the lab. So you can think of in that path as well.
By the way, so yeah, let's have a video. You know that.
Okay, before I share my perspective, I'm just curious, how many are not sure what you want to do next? I know I've heard a lot about people who want to do MTech and so on, and it's okay. How many are not sure what we want to do next? A few brave hands, I like that, but I think there are a lot more probably. We had one brave question earlier, and it sounded like many questions. And I think it's because it's part of the natural confusion. It's okay to not know. Some people know very passionately what you want to specialize in, and they give a lot of good guidance. But for a lot who don't know what you want to do next, please keep exploring. I think you have so much more information now, and I probably slightly disagree with Sridhar on knowing about the future. You just need to know what you want to do sometimes for the next 5 years, probably. Maybe these are the in any shape or form, whether it's like operation supply chain, whether it is about developing product management, whether it's marketing strategy, etc. And then around 2014, I joined Amazon, which was another big journey and adventure for me because again, I thought I was a general manager, I would love developing businesses, but then I was pulled back into tech mainly because I love like developing new business and tech is at the heart of it. And now I find myself in the last 5, 6 years in a product leadership role where now I know like very specific fields as well in order to network. Next time, good.
My last question. I don't say absolutely, but apparently I feel like a kind of 2 years are a kind of wasted, like go with flow batch. So how does this BTech degree grades and GPA play important role in getting the does it play any important role or just if you have just degree and you have skill, we can do everything and need better and good clarity on this? Yeah.
What is that?
Karthikeyan, sir.
Karthikeyan, okay. Actually, my son is Karthikeyan. So, I think, because like, you're from Tripoli, right? I was, Tripoli, First thing, whether it is FPE or ECE or CSE or whatever, first thing is you are engineer. Agree? Right? You are going to do a problem solving. Okay? That can be in electrical field, that can be in mechanical field, that can be in the computer field. Okay, first thing you are engineer. That is the first thing. Okay? Coming to the is other branch, excuse me. Actually, I started my career in PPE, but then into the telecommunications. But I still feel proud as a PPE. Okay? The reason I tell you. Okay? See, the whatever you learn, right, that will be useful for like whichever way you want to go. Okay? So, starting from you learn water, you learn whatever you learn in the mechanical, you learn strength of material, fluid mechanics, whatever you learn in the civil engineering, and you learn the electronics part, what is that, MOSFET, all those things, and also you learn coding. So all engineering you learn in the 3D. Okay? So that there is a good option you have chosen. So you don't need to regret. Okay? This is nothing waste. Okay? Whatever you are doing now, that is a good thing. Don't worry about it. Okay? Agree with me? Okay? So, first thing is, you are an expert, you are a engineer, and this is your learning how to do a problem solving. If you learn problem solving in one area, you can solve problem in other areas also. That's the GPA, see, this is not like a relative. Okay, why are you saying it is a relative? See, here, some, okay, that was when you were being institute that time. My number is 41. There are 40 people before me. Okay, so here I am a topper, but then I am a 41 number. Okay, this is all relative. This is GPA and all. Okay, some extent maybe some services companies and all they take some initial level entry at 70% or something like that. Okay, as long as you get that to enter into that interview process or whatever, that's good enough. Rest of the things you do your whatever passion you have. Okay, good. Okay.
On the contrary, right, I'm not a topper. But I tell you that knowing your strengths, knowing your skills, knowing that, hey, I was a topper once, okay, first year, whatever, right? So later on, I had my musty, I had my fun, I had my friends, for all kinds, right? But you should know that GPA is very, very important, definitely. When someone looks at you for placement, when someone looks at you wherever you go, right? If earlier in your career path, you couldn't make your marks here, okay, go to masters. Make up there. Get your GPA all age there. Right? Nobody's going to stop you from recruiting. But recruitment, they are looking at GPA. And I know most of it here, right? Most of you keep questioning your parents, friends, alumni, everybody, right? Now, why is GPA important? I know what I want to do, right? GPA is important. So make sure you are getting your marks well and also getting GPA is important. But doesn't mean that the rest of the people who don't have GPA doesn't have career paths, right? There are many career paths that you get to guide you. And we will discuss maybe offline also, off the panel here. But that's just something I want to, get it right.
So, engineering mechanics, I did until my 12th, engineering first year, second year, like out of the blue, completely like gone case. I couldn't even understand one single bit. Whatever teacher talking, like, I couldn't even answer in English, anything. I couldn't write even a proper statements in first year. So thing is, first year, second year, you don't know what happens to you. Okay, you will learn, you learn. Even engineering, like, okay, probably we are all maths guys, all centums, out of outs in maths. That is good. But when you have to write in physics and chemistry and other subjects, you need to be very strong. So my first year and second year sunk, almost. So I was devastated more and more. But I really realized I'm from civil. I had a lot of fear about my future also at that time. What do I do, right? Okay, civil engineering. Somebody told my father that there will be some government jobs with civil engineering, but we don't know where are the government jobs when they publish. Okay, like construction and all of those, and gate. So many people writes and so small number of seats. So that fear is always there. And abroad we cannot go. We cannot afford. So it is really helpful in your interviews as well. Like even in my IISc, like after written test and gate and interview, or even I've attended like 16 campus interviews. First 8 I didn't even pass through the written test in IISc, and second 8 I have completed written test. But when I went to interviews, I was continuously failing. Probably like a 17th company, I got recruited into that Intergraph. Luckily, that was a passionate company. I've always been like dreaming from the beginning of my MTech. So sometimes, why? Because I always like JS, remote sensing, computer vision, and surveying, transportation, maps, location-based systems. So out of entire civil engineering, like 20, 25 subjects, right? We all learn so many subjects, but I developed only like 2-3 interests. So in any interview, people will always ask, what is your interesting field? What do you like the most? If you can figure out like, okay, it's like a dream girl, right? Like, it's like a dream girl, right? Like, I can say that. It's like, what are your not two dream subjects to it? By a lot of innovation, around deep, okay, and latest technologies, and you can easily face any interviews and get an average, like, okay, above average CGPA. So at the end, like I got like, okay, 7+ CGPA, where I could boldly go to every interview and written test. But important, 2-3 subjects, strong, narrow, and deep. That saves your life. Thank you.
So I'll tell you a story of a person, a real person, and it's a radical story. So this person was in Andhra University, final year, third year college, and so at that time he decided that he's not going to pursue engineering anymore because his father had forced him to go to engineering. So he quit engineering. He married a girl, cartoonist in a newspaper somewhere in Andhra Pradesh, and then he was struggling a lot, and he got a child born, and then eventually he met a person company in Hyderabad. So the CEO of InnoMind somehow talked to him and offered him a job of user experience designer. And then eventually now he has become the most of the top level user experience design work in the for big companies like Microsoft, Amazon, those kind of. So it's up to you. Nothing matters. Nothing actually got wasted also. So it's up to you how you use whatever you have gained, and then you acquire more stuff and then combine them. But it's all hard work. So to maintain your GPA, you have to do hard work now. Then you can get it easily. If you don't like what you're doing, and part of a new area that you missed, and then go from there.
థ్యాంక్ యూ జయంత. ఇప్పుడే కొంతమంది వచ్చినట్టున్నారు కదా స్టూడెంట్స్, మీకు ఏమైనా ప్రశ్నలు ఉన్నాయా? ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్? సివిల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ స్టూడెంట్సా? స్పాట్లైట్ పెట్టట్లేదు ఇప్పుడే.
Civil engineering students, please raise your hands. Nice. Glad that you came. We are very happy. So are the panelists from civil engineering here. So we have Chakrapani, Kalyan, who just spoke, and Kishore, who are here from civil engineering. If you have any questions related to your career guidance, please do fire them.
Nada? You can take the mic from there.
Yeah, Abdul, किसी को पकड़ाओ किसी को.
అడగండి, పర్వాలేదు, మా మాట ఏమీ లేదు.
Yeah, foreign law ante, yeah, it depends. Should I answer in Telugu or English? Okay. So foreign anna pod. I come from Netherlands. Civil engineering is one of the most sought after curriculums. There is entrance for civil, but there is no entrance for electrical engineering. For those who are so proud of being electrical engineering. So am I. But civil engineering does have entrance, plenty of opportunities, lot of money. So they make more money, but they have to be on the field and so on too. So, but again, my advice there is good. So there are a lot of specializations too. So, Rashika, do you? It is very good. It is awesome abroad as well. So do consider it. So and, there is nothing wrong with civil or any other branch. All of you here, I have come to a premier institute. If you are in a government engineering college, that means you are among the best. Therefore, you have the potential. Utilize it properly. Think about it and then take necessary steps. Rashika, how is it in Canada? Please help.
Yeah, I personally don't know much about civil engineering, but what I found in many of the Western countries, there is a lack of engineering in core areas, either civil engineering, the metallurgy engineering, the mechanical engineers, petroleum engineers. I find quite a few jobs, very high-paying, interesting jobs. And from a higher education point of view, US is always number one, right? There are some great universities there. In fact, half of our batch went to US for higher studies, 25 years back. I live in Canada. Through job, I moved to Canada. I'm there for 19 years. In fact, Canada is also becoming a great destination for higher education. In fact, one advantage the country has is it's all immigration based. It's easy to get the local green card citizenship very faster. People come for higher education plus to even to settle and get citizenship and so on. We're happy to guide. Yeah.
Talking more about civil engineering, Netherlands, where I come from, so it is a few meters under the sea level. So you can imagine that how the country has built one complete province, which is the state, by pumping out water from the lands for 100 years. They took 100 years to pump the land out, and now they are building, constructing buildings on top of that. So Netherlands is definitely one of the best places to be a civil engineer, highly paid, but you need to know the language if you want to succeed. Why I said English speaking is because is to overcome these kind of difficulties. You can certainly do the masters there. It would be expensive. I don't know how expensive it would be when compared to Canada or USA, but still something certainly worth considering. So, sure, no problem. If you have any hesitation, you can still ask. For how to get into. Okay, who wants to take the question? How many of you have given GRE and Rama, Jayant?
Yeah, I mean, you have to take your GRE. That's a mandate, especially for masters. Undergrad, now they're going optional and all that stuff, right? But masters, definitely, they still require that. So once you take your GRE and you start applying in the November process of this year, if you were to go to next year, right? So next year, fall admissions start, but you start applying by November, December of this year. That is one thing that is very different slightly with US, right? It's almost a 1 year of application process that happens, because the deadlines hit like December, Jan timeframe. So that is number one. Take your GRE and start applying soon and start thinking. Number two, if you are going into civil engineering and other areas like this, which are not electronics or computers, right, you get funding more. Definitely there are opportunities. Of course, it all depends on your GPA. It all depends on what else have you done here, extracurriculars that you can showcase your strength and your, what we call it, a statement of purpose and applications. So that is a very important step. So there is slightly a different process for going into US and getting admitted there. And undergrad, masters, both is the same process. It's just a different set of examinations that you take, and then you move forward into those things, so application-wise and all. But yeah, definitely I would say if you're really passionate about civil, start looking at opportunities there. You definitely get more funding ahead earlier on if you start applying earlier on, right? And any other questions I can answer offline.
On a side note, Germany is the only country in Europe that does not have tuition fee. So there is absolutely no tuition fee for masters. There is just administration fee of 200 euros and that's it. So, and the medium of education is also English for all masters across Europe. Jayant wants to say something.
Also, you can apply or start preparing and writing GRE
is not keep that in mind. Some of my friends, we used to watch a lot of English movies in Satyagodi. So keep that in mind. And also in recent days with self-driving, there will be a lot of opportunities in the civil engineering for the transportation sector. Many of the roads maybe need to be redesigned for self-driving vehicles. So.
And how to go about it? If you need any contacts, please reach out to your respective professors or Karuna madam, and she has the number of Rajshekhar. Rajshekhar can contact us, and we can help you in get in touch with us individually if you need further information on any of these questions.
See, the other thing we are going to do with the university we are going to create a alumni database, right? I think many of the alumni, the list of people and their skills, how they can help you will be provided to the university over the next few weeks. I think you will have ability to reach out to many of us for help and mentorship, right? That is something we are going to do with the university.
Thanks, Raj. Kiran, next question.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Sir, this question belongs to all, sir. How many struggles face your graduation days and how to utilize time? And are you present any happy?
How many struggles? We are still but we are happy, content. What is the question about? Struggles with gadgets.
Joined CMC and thinking that it will be a beautiful career and all, and unfortunately I could not enjoy the work. So I went abroad. There also I could not enjoy, and I went into Bell Labs, all this stuff I could not. Now after so many years I joined Broadcom, and I started enjoying my work. I think that is one of the area which will be booming. I think Rama or Shanmukh will agree. Computing is cheaper, power management is costlier. If you see, you can get a Raspberry Pi for 2000, but a power supply and a heat management and all that stuff is more than 3000. So you need to do power management very well. So what I do as a specialization, which I love, is efficient coding. I only write in assembly or C, so not like any funky Python, ML, I don't understand. So I only do I just read books and all that stuff, but I only do assembly language programming. What is beautiful is I just solve simpler problems like wireless power. I think most of you have Apple watches and it has a Broadcom wireless chip. And simple problems, right? When you're doing wireless power, the simple thing is power efficiency. The initial chip we did was only 40% efficient. That means we've transferred 10 watts, only 4 watts was going and 6 watts was getting wasted. So we know we are very bad. So then we add some algorithms to do something called foreign object detection, what we call when you put a key on that wireless charger, it should not leak any power like that. Now it is 85% efficient. So like that we improve a lot. It's a small chip, small business, small coding, but it is immense satisfaction. Well, that's what I can say. So when you look at from any branch, so don't think that this subject are not going to work. You never know in the future what areas are going to work. I never liked power electronics, but I'm now enjoying that work. So what I'm saying is, so you pick your area, whichever you want. I'm saying, I think you will all will succeed. I'm sure. Skills and all that stuff, it is only temporary. I would say like everybody will have time, right? So you might feel some difficulties in the period of the time, but everyone will succeed. But only thing is the time will come. You have to wait for that time, and I'm sure you guys will succeed and you will have a very bright future. That's all I can say.
One thing I'll advise, right? There is a library you guys have, right? We used to have something called Spectrum magazine. I think if you remember, one of our seniors used to order it, and most of us used to kind of pass on from room to room to room to that magazine used to pass, and we used to have it in the hostel and also in the library, right? So you should read up all the technology magazines. You'll know what is happening where, right? Struggles on a particular subject is okay. You don't like that subject, that's fine. I never liked high voltage, right? That is okay. But at the end of the day, you will know where some of your interest will lie. You will probably latch on to one subject even more and more and more. You'll know that. I think you'll start to get an understanding. But as you read magazines, your curiosity will increase, right? Hey, what is this really built upon? How is this technology working and all, right? So the more you dig in and read magazines, so I'll say read those, read your technical, even newspapers, we have a technology section, right? If you read Hindu or Indian Express or everywhere, right, we have technology segment that comes out, what is happening today. I think you should be aware of the industry trends. You should be aware of the digital, the technology spectrum or anything that you have ordered here that college is ordering, read them. You'll get an understanding on those more.
You asked a very important question, like, are you really happy, right? This is, my own personal experience. Work, money, position, or power, and the family, right? These four are very important. So now we don't have any of them, right? Literally. Family is not your family, like your spouse, or your children, that's what you do, and how much power or designation, what you do, and how much money you have, and what power or designation. Okay, so put aside, okay, your spouse, children, family, okay, the spouse, children, family, okay, that because that's the spouse, children, family, okay, that because that's going to contribute a lot of happiness. You are not sure where spouse, children, family, okay, that because that's going to contribute a lot of happiness. But the first three, you are not sure when you will get it. You are not sure when you will get it. Beginning of campus, you don't know you'll enjoy it or not. Then you don't know you'll enjoy that position also or not. Then after money is there, like you will go for position. After position you go for work, or otherwise like you go for work, or otherwise like you shuffle between them. You have work, no position. You have position, no work, no money. So some places different, but you will settle down. For all the three, like you need to have a strong family. So you should not lose those three. So like okay, 4 pillars.
The one thing that I will say is that means the universe has you are worth.
Who are sitting on the dais, everyone is having their own struggle. Without struggle, we can't succeed. We won't get success. Okay, but yeah, the struggles and to overcome. Nowadays, the thinking of the student community is like they want to get success at a step, at a stretch. Okay, suppose if a ladder is there, we had to climb in a stepwise manner. But generally, the youngsters, what they are thinking is just in a single step, they want to reach the last. That means highest position. So we should have patience, and we should be having hard work, and we should be
clearly a lot of us want to share. It's a question that's very close to all of us. It's a deep question, and it's just a couple of points I want to make. One is I think everyone has said there are struggles and you have to push on, etc. One of the things, by the way, this question comes up in our work life too. Like my team members who work for 5 years, 10 years, they struggle sometimes. They don't enjoy certain aspects of work. How do they push on when they're faced with other challenges, etc.? One thing I've always helped keep perspective is don't expect like 100% of your work is going to be exciting and deeply interesting. If you're lucky, it might be, but not always, and maybe you may not get it like this. So be prepared to put in the boring your challenges or connect to someone who are all like, some Nilima is like our gold medalist, right? So we're sitting here, we're only representing a few, but there are so many out there that you should reach out to, talk to them, interact, right? We'll probably be around, but yeah, pretty much in the same lines. Struggles exist everywhere, but you have to push through.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to ask Radha, who's a professor, how does she treat academics as a profession? Probably some insights you can gain from her answer. They are not interested.
Actually, you should choose academics or being into this profession if you are passionate about it. Okay, only a passionate teacher can add value to the students and molding the next generation people. Okay, and at the audience to a teacher is seeing success in their students, right?
So do you guys want to share your struggles?
1 minute.
Oh, we have a question there.
Good morning, all. I am Vaishnavi from Degree Department. I'm pursuing my second year. I wanted to get settled in the electrical core. So I want to just know the opportunities in the core and how can I explore them.
Electrical.
Okay, first I will answer when you say electrical core. There are many opportunities. I will tell you, as I said, I am from power management. That is also electrical, right? That is dealing with power. You could be doing an re-engineering of an electric motor, which will be more efficient. Nowadays, electrical cars will come. So there are so many areas in the electrical core, not just, I believe right now, opportunities, power plant or something like that. There are enough opportunities for electrical. I think, I believe right now, but I leave to the...
You need to be honest, network analysis is my favorite subject. But you are so lucky that you wanted to work in electrical core. Just by solving network problem, which is just resistor and capacitor, you can create a big career. I talk about VLSI. It's all about resistance and capacitance. Just that the transistors are controlled resistors, and then you have a capacitance. You talk about power. You talk about various aspects like performance. Everything, it's driven centrally from electrical engineering. Okay, so as they said, VLSI is one of the best careers if you wanted to pursue standing at electrical engineering, and it pays you a lot. To be honest, initially, we are all like electrical. Initially in the core, you might be paid little less, but once you master the subject and find yourself and identify your strengths, and you pick the right area, then nobody can stop you. So this is one of the motivational aspect I just wanted to express you being in the electrical engineering. Like our Prasad said, it's a profession, engineering, where you learn everything. It is a very interdisciplinary subject, and you need guts to navigate through the electrical engineering throughout your career. Okay, just take every challenge with positive spirit, you will be successful.
Srinivas Chepuri, please. Talking about VLSI, which is the microelectronics, we have the hardcore guy here as well.
Yeah. In electrical engineering, you can get, because the developing the infrastructure is important again, because now we have a lot of advancement in the power management methods, but the infrastructure has to be improved towards towards meeting this the power management techniques and power management advancement. Our existing substations of the requirements of this power management techniques. Now what requirements of this power management techniques? Now what means grid requirements of this power management techniques? Now what means grid management requirements of this power management techniques? Now what means grid management techniques? And even you take the microgrids and the the improving the design power management techniques. So there are a lot of opportunities are there in this one, and I myself I still stick into this core area where building the giving the design and detail engineering. And the only thing is we should have the passion and patience, as we are keep telling on this the points. So that is important. Yeah, okay. We have plenty of opportunities for.
You can always contact us. As I mentioned, we are happy to help you. We have Ramakrishna again who wants to help further on this.
So this is applicable to both EC students, electronics and instrumentation, electrical engineers, right? If whoever wants to settle in the core job, there are several opportunities, as Shanmukh mentioned, or Chipuri mentioned, right? So some of the things I will tell you, because where I am working in a core power converters to power data centers, basically. Like we power almost like 1000 amps for a processor. Right, so there we need a lot of disciplines, especially one is the product definition, which is systems engineering, where you need complete all the fundamentals of electrical and electronics engineering. Then design, analog design, digital design, test engineering, where we have to reliably test each and every device so that customer would not see any surprise. And again, validation engineering, where care about reliability. Buy a car for a 10-year reliability or 15-year reliability. So how do I make sure the reliability? So that is also buy a car for a 10-year reliability or 15-year reliability. So how do I make sure the reliability? So that is also called product engineering, which is very broad aspects. So basically, so how do I make sure the reliability? So that is also called product engineering, which is very broad aspects. So basically, quality and reliability they take care of, which is very broad aspects. So basically, quality and reliability they take care of. So there are around like to stress on the fundamentals you have to get on. There are, I found when I started designing, I found like a Panchbhota, 5 elements. Just you need to know about 5 elements. R, L, C. You know RLC, right? Resistor, inductor, and capacitor. And one rectifier, which is diode. And one switch, which is actually, it can be transistor, thyristor, whatever you call. Just learn deep about these 5 elements. Okay.
Yes, civil mass. మీరు సెకండ్ ఇయరా థర్డ్ ఇయరా సెకండ్ ఇయర్ ఓ లాట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ ఈజ్ దేర్ ఫర్ యూ ఓకే సమ్ సజెషన్స్ ఐ విల్ జస్ట్ గివ్ ఇఫ్ బీటెక్ కంప్లీట్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఇమీడియట్గా డోంట్ ట్రై టు టేక్ ది జాబ్ పర్టికులర్లీ ఫర్ సివిల్ రీజన్ ఎందుకంటే ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఎంటెక్ your exposure of companies will be different and your exposure of situations are different. Okay. Now you are here, so your exposures are completely different. It is like a limited. Okay. And what you see the companies also is a limited. But once you go, you take a gate. If you are very much interested in core, take a gate so that it will be helpful for your engineering services also and gate also. But start the preparation once your second year is completed. From third year onwards, you have to start. One advantage with going with MTech, these big companies like L&T or Bechtel or which are 2 years, go with MTech. You can, not only means I am telling about the government, but the private companies also offers different systems. Even L&T also offers different specializations where you want to be posted. Okay. Transportation means you can go into the highways. You know, it is a never ending business and government cannot stop the funds for this. And public works department, always it will be continuous. And other government departments like military engineering service or any other government departments, continuously jobs will be coming. You keep a watch from third year onwards, which notification at what time it is coming. Normally these government departments follows the same system. If this year they are advertising in the month of February, normally their system also will be in the month of next year also it will be February. So these type of things you just try to track and keep a 2-3 subjects, whatever Kalyan has told, that 2-3 subjects you should be very clear, either structures or building management or transportation or environmental or water resource. Okay, this is my suggestion. I think, hope you have understood clearly. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Lavan. Basically, I'm interested in business and as well as I'm thinking to pursue my master's. My question is for Rama and Vanilla. I just want to know the mistakes that you have made and the failures that you have faced.
Two questions. Mistake you have made and failure you have faced. And he wants to go into business and also what is the other one you said, business and?
So the first thing about pursuing a master's MBA is probably to decide, do you want to do it right away or do you want to do it with work experience? I think a bit about whether you're getting the kind of well-rounded view of how a business operates, where each of the function you're working fits, even if it's the technical department, the product department. How do you think about customer? How do you think about the user design? How does that flow into actually developing and launching products? How do you iterate? Then, then it's more valuable for you to then build on that and go on to do an MBA. There are definitely ways to go do an MBA right away as well. I have personally, being honest, have made mistakes in, I did take my CAT in my final year. I did get calls from the IIMs, and because I was so unsure, I was underprepared for the next step as well. So I went half-hearted and did neither here nor there. So I ended up going and doing work experience for a couple of years and did an MBA. But I would say just don't go with the flow. Think about your options and where you're going and why you want to do an MBA is actually quite important as well. Because it's not just to answer in the interview and crack that interview and get in, but also it's actually, right now the job opportunities are amazing, right? Why are you willing to give up 2 years of that and go and do something different as well? It's also a slightly non-traditional path to start to do that when you've done a technical engineering. So just be super clear. And there are many people who do that at the early part of the career, like me, I've done, and Rama can share a bit more perspective, and she's done at the later part. I've used for my MBA as a way to explore my itch to be a generalist, to see what else I want to be doing, because I enjoyed the idea of developing, scaling, growing businesses and launching. And then I realized there was a way for me to bring that together with technology. And I want to do that about developing and launching new technology products kind of space. So, but it came much later, I would say. So if one of my failures was, I would want to be a bit more thoughtful, even when I was going through my MBA, in trying to choose the kind of companies I want to intern with and how I want to explore that passion.
Why you want to do an MBA? I have so much. Why you want to do an MBA? And early in the career, you have so. My personal, thinking is the same as hers. I feel you should work, or go for your masters. Depends on what your core versus non-core understanding is, right? But have that experience and then go for your MBA, right? That's my personal suggestion. But you asked another question of failures faced, I think, right? So yeah, failures faced, I don't know in what context or how you're navigating it, but definitely you could think it through, like what you're saying, right? Hindsight, that she should have done it a little later, maybe thought through. So I feel the same, that maybe I could have done a little earlier too, right? So, but I was more keen on my core. I didn't want to give up. So I kept dilly-dallying and delaying, right? And I was asking my question. I would call so many of my friends, ECE friends, who are all done their MBAs earlier on. I would call them, nag them almost many times, hey, I'm still unsure. Should I really go for it, right? So one of my friends, classmates in ECE said, if you're really unsure, why don't you go explore, right? And this happened, maybe I'm talking about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, or something like that, right? She said, go explore your phases if you're, because I see that you're very, very close to your tech, but you don't want to give up. So I kept doing that, right? And then eventually I decided to go for my exec MBA once I moved back to India here in ISB. And it made me more a generalization, gave me a generalized, so it's not, I didn't specialize in one area, right? It's more a generalist. But it gives you a broader perspective how the business operates. In my segment, I wanted to take it back, and that's what I do today, right? So I do look at all the engineering product side, power management techniques these the guys are talking about, and power is a very big thing. So from a core side, I'm still there at the architecture side, to the optimizing the product, to ensuring it hits the market in the right way, and also meeting the market needs. So I'm involved in all those discussions. So my core plus my business is giving a better view of how we tackle that, But that came a better view of how we tackle that. But that came from experience, right? I have 23 plus years experience, but that came from experience. It's not happened like right away after a better view of how we tackle that. But that came from experience, right? I have 23 plus years experience, but that came from experience. It's not happened like a better view of how we tackle that. But that came from experience, right? I have 23 plus years experience, but that came from experience. It's not happened like a better view of how we tackle that. But that came from experience, right? I have 23 plus years experience, but that came from experience. It's not happened like right away after BTech I took an MBA or anything. So you need to know what is it that you want to go. You said, I want to start a business, right? So that's a not with an open mindset, right? Many of them are founders here. In fact, Kiran herself is a founder for some of the business. So don't equate MBA to business, first of all, right? That's a wrong mindset. Business, you can do it anytime. Entrepreneurship, you can do it anytime. So business MBA degree is a slightly a different view, right? It gives you out how things operate. It gives you frameworks to think through. Each framework you take and apply, supply chain to product to finance, right? There's a lot of frameworks that you learn in an MBA, which you take it back to your work and daily and apply it. So that's how you should look at MBA versus business. My personal thing. Yeah, I think, so I think you should start planning for your prototypes and start thinking through the business and seriously, right, putting your thought into building a prototype, have a deadline and go with a plan, right? Again, nobody is stopping you. You yourself are pulling it down, but you can actually push it through, create your own plan, and we are all here to help, right? I think there are judges who've done the Elevate 11. They have a lot more foundation experience, and they're experienced entrepreneurs also, that they do as a passion they have developed. They have a daily job, but as a passion in the weekends that they spend is all these, right? The startup, nobody is going to stop you. You can do it yourself, and you should in fact do that, right? If you're so interested. Yeah, that's a great question, by the way.
I can answer this here. I did my MBA after my MTech in IISc. Just to get into, because I've been into startups. I worked in a French, Finnish, and US startups. And I learned from many entrepreneurs on developing companies. And I did my MBA to really learn the whole framework from idea to making money and scaling up. So with that experience in startups, I started our own startup. And I started our own startup. And MBA really helped, and entrepreneurship from Founder Institute. I did my MBA to really learn the whole framework from idea to making money and scaling up. So with that experience in startups, I started our own startup. And MBA really helped from idea to making money and scaling up. So with that experience in startups, I started our own startup. And MBA really helped, and entrepreneurship from Founder Institute. There are couple of incubator institutes which focuses on purely institute. There are couple of incubator institutes which focuses on purely entrepreneurship. Even I did that as well. Then when we started in reality, the startup. There are financial institutes like which focuses on purely entrepreneurship. Not in that, but when you put in your own shoes into that real business, like from idea to making and scaling money. So you shouldn't be like wide and so many things. Like we have elevated a couple of ideas in the last week as well for Elevate 11. Wide and shallow, like we want to achieve so many things from out of an, okay, we have like almost 20 employees, but the thing is we want to achieve so many things out of this. So wide and shallow is the number one failure. And second thing is like money management, complex or something more. So if you are like a spender, not like a gainer, okay, if you spend everything so soon, and if you have to lose so much to get some investment, so we did not operate, we did not manage money very well. So we wasted because, okay, wrong sales tactics or like, okay, like wrong product strategies as well. So even like recruiting some team members, like, okay, higher salaries, lower salaries, incompetent people. But the thing is, these are the two fundamental things. One is wide and shallow, and second is money management. So these are the two things made us to park our own startup for now. Yeah, thanks.
Probably in the interest of the time, we'll conclude this event. And if you have any questions, we are available today and tomorrow. You can meet us offline. We'll be out in the campus roaming around. Okay. Thank you all for your time. And do you want to add any comment?
Thank the panelists. Thank to contact all of us anytime.
Thank you, Kiran and Sridhar. I just want to tell three things, not that three P's, okay? The first thing is asking questions. Answers anyway Google God will give, okay? Don't look for answers, start asking questions. That is one thing we want to achieve from this session also. That's why we are expecting more questions from you. That's the first thing. Second thing, somebody told struggling. I don't struggling in the subject or whatever. There is one point you need to learn as a student, because see, always struggles will be there. That is the common thing. But how you overcome that struggles? Okay, I'll tell you my college experience. I'm a little bit good in electrical, and my friend Shanmukh is good in electronics, and Anjani is good in computer subjects. Okay, share each other, discuss each other, so that, right, the subject struggles at least you can minimize. That is one thing I want to give, one suggestion I want to give to the students. Okay, sharing. The moment you explain, right, you don't need to read again. You don't need to mug up. Okay, it will be in your mind, and you can write, reproduce in the paper. This is the second thing. What is the third thing? Yeah. The third part is like, see, after going, this happened to me also, like maybe after 20 years or 15 years, like our Ram Gopal told, right? Finding our path, okay? You need to find some mentor, okay? That maybe we found it like a little later, but what I'm asking, right, you try to find your mentor. And I think, Raj, are we planning some mentoring program?
Thank you, Prasad. So, thank you, Prasad. So one thing, I mean, this is, thank you, Prasad. So one thing, I mean, this is, thank you, Prasad. So one thing, I mean, this is for the, thank you, Prasad. So one thing, I mean, this is, say, investor in one of the companies where I do promote skill set and uplifting for women mostly, right? And we have something called Beyond Pinks. It's beyondpinks.ai. You can go and look in their website there, but definitely we do a lot of mentoring, coaching, and I'm one of the mentors there on the website there if you go see. So do reach out, right? If anyone, I'm talking specifically to the ladies here, but that is something that's my passion, and I do that separately. So I'm here to also navigate and guide, right? Specific to ladies I'm talking about. Thank you.
Thank you.
As we said, we'll be around. Make use of our time. Yeah. All the very best for all of you. Just a small announcement. There are snacks put up outside, it seems. So enjoy, Madi.